Shoemaker Guitar Works. So I'm back here with the Martin that's got some weird things going on here. I showed you in the last episode the binding's coming off. Looks to me like the top is dropped a little bit in here, and it almost looks, it's not, but it almost looks like it's trying to separate at the seams. So what I've got here is a super thin palette knife that I use for getting underneath fretboards, underneath bridges, underneath the braces, whatever. And so I'm going to stick my hand up in here and try and see if I can feel any kind of looseness on any of the bracing. And it feels to me like I can barely do it, but feels to me like it's getting underneath the middle of the X brace a little bit, which runs just like this across the top, and then there's the bridge plate right here. The bridge plate feels good. I don't feel any problems with that. I've already checked that with the palette knife, but I can get, in the X bracing, I can get the palette knife about that far up into the middle of it. So I'm going to have to talk to the owner and determine the next step. This might be covered under warranty by Martin. I'm not real sure. We might have to send it in, but I just wanted to give you a little update as to what the heck is happening with this guitar. I've noticed here that there's a the inner binding is starting to come off also, so the two little, the striped pieces that are black, white, black, and in fact this piece is broken, so it's definitely got some issues. I'm going to find out from Martin if this is covered under warranty or if I'm going to have to go ahead and pull the back off of it. If I have to, that's no big deal. That's something that I do almost weekly, is doing brace repairs, so we'll see what Martin has to say. All the back, I already checked the back bracing. All the back bracing is okay. Still doesn't make sense as to why the binding's coming off. I don't know if it was just a bad glue job at the factory or, you know, what they had going on there. So like I say, my next step is going to be contact the owner, see what he wants to do, and contact Martin and see if it is covered under their lifetime warranty. If it is, then they've got some work ahead of them. If it's not, then I've got some work ahead of me. So just wanted to give you a little update as to what's going on. But like I say, I can stick the palette knife probably a good 3/4 of an inch up into that center X brace, right where they both meet. So it's got some problems. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know what was going on with this thing, and there'll be another episode soon as to what we're going to do here. Hey guys, Dad Shoemaker, Shoemaker Guitar Works. Back here with the Martin. I've contacted the owner, and although they are the original owner, it was never registered for warranty through Martin, unfortunately. So I am going to have to get crafty here and see what I've got to do. I'm probably going to remove the back here because that's going to be the easiest way for me to fix the bracing. I don't know that I can get up in there good enough with glue and a jack to be able to get that X bracing how it's supposed to be. Let's see if I can get the palette knife up underneath of there. Bend it a little bit. Yeah, I might have to make a little tool to get up in there, but it's unfortunate that it was not registered as new. But let me see here. Pull the binding back where it's. Well, it's not loose like I thought it would be. So but it is coming, yeah, it's coming off. So what I'm going to do here first is try and remove this binding in one piece without breaking it, which shouldn't be too hard. Take my little palette knife here, and this is the only spot I'm worried about right here, because the binding, I don't know if you can see that, but the binding actually goes behind the heel a little bit, which that's not a big deal, I guess. I could actually cut it around there and just glue it back together. He's worried about structural rigidity of this guitar, and so am I, so if we got to do what we got to do. Trying to do this on a budget for him as much as possible and not count myself out, if you know what I mean, because, you know, this is how I make my money. So we've got the binding off almost all the way around. Get that in there just a little bit deeper. There it went. So we have one Martin guitar back binding, and for the time being I'm just going to hang it up here, and I'm going to lay this guitar flat and get rid of this block and see if this back is going to come off or not. Oh yeah. I think the glue job they did on this was just subpar from the factory, and that is what caused the problems. I may have to heat up this palette knife a little bit with my torch or whatever to get it to kind of melt some of the glue, but I'm already like a third of the way off here. So what I'm going to continue to do is just work this around, get this back off of here, and then I will bring you back and show you what we find. So I just found the major source of the problem with this guitar, and it's right here. It's these two braces right here. I can get my knife completely underneath of these. So that brace, this one is okay. Can't get underneath of that one, but that one clearly goes up under there. So that's the major source of this, and like I say, I'm gonna get some glue up underneath the other little spots in the X bracing, and definitely get some glue on the seam here, because now that, especially that I popped that the rest of the way, it's definitely got some give to it. So anyway, that is essentially what we're gonna have to do here. Alright, so I've got everything kind of dry fit how I want it. What I'm using here are these long reach C-clamps, and to protect the body on the top side I used a couple of my bench dogs, because these C-clamps just have a metal end on them. So now what I'm going to do is, I've already put glue in the seam. Now I have to put the glue on the brace, get the brace lined back up, and glue it down. So I will bring you back. Actually, let's go ahead and try and get the glue on the brace. It goes in there just like so. It's pretty clean the way it came off of there. You don't want too much, but you don't want too little glue. Titebond is the best stuff on the market for this, in my humble opinion. Put a little bit of the excess on there. Don't take much, just a little bit. I hope with the guitar sitting at an angle you can kind of see what I'm doing here. It almost looks like, the way the glue is on here, it looks like this has happened before, but they said that they had never had any repairs like this done. I know I've glued the binding on it at least one other time, and at that point in time I didn't find any loose bracing, but that's not to say that this did not happen. Alright, so get the brace sitting in there like that, and I'm gonna kind of have to get a little crafty as far as I can clamp it here and I can clamp it there, but the one edge I'm not going to be able to clamp greatly with one of my C-clamps here, so I may have to use a wooden block. So, alright, getting that one tightened down. I'm going to move this one up a little bit towards the end here. I want to make sure everything is lined up perfectly. Get that on there. It's not going to take a ton of pressure. It looks like I missed a little spot with my Titebond here. So, let's see if I can finagle some glue into there. There we go. And so now I'll come back. I'll have a regular like F clamp with a just a block to reach down there and get that tightened down on that end, and I'll clean up my my glue mess here, and that part of the repair is fixed. The other parts, I'm just going to kind of sneak in some tight bond where I can and give that more support. And then within a day or two, we'll be ready to put the back on. So, all right, got my F clamp here. This is one I use for different things, but I've got a wooden block on the end of it. That will go here. If I can do this without throwing the block at my face, I've got a little plastic wrap here on the block so the wood doesn't stick to the wood. Get it positioned in there how I can. And glue her up. Got a wet towel here just to get a little bit of that squeeze out. Wow, I'm mumble fingers today. Nice thing about tight bond is it's so easy to clean up. Just a little warm water on a paper towel or a rag and it comes off. I always try and leave a little bit there on the edges of the corners, just as added assurance that this thing is going to stay glued, kind of like a weld on the outside, I guess, you know. But anyway, so that'll make the end of this episode. This is just a short little episode on what I did to repair this. And like I say, next we'll be getting some tight bond up underneath this X bracing here and up under here a little bit. I thought the bridge plate might have had some problems, but it's actually in good shape. And the rest of the bracing, there's one little spot right here that I can get underneath, but other than that, it's pretty decent. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like and subscribe. Shoemaker Guitar Works. Dad Shoemaker, have a great day.